Alright guys, welcome back to the Tundra channel. Today I'm gonna show you how to build a kick-ass fuel system that's good for at least 750 horsepower on a budget. So first of all, let's start with our fuel pump. You're gonna want to get a good size fuel pump, and the Walbro TI 450 sells for about 155 bucks. So throw that into your stock canister. Use the stock line that comes off the top of the tank, and then get one of these fittings. This one isn't exactly what you want. You want one with a 5/16 quick connect male end and ends in a 6AN. I didn't order one because I'm not using a stock system, but they're on Amazon for like 10-15 bucks. So we're gonna connect our stock pipe from the fuel pump into that connector, and from there on we're gonna go to a 6AN feed line. It's gonna come up to our engine bay, and then where this T-fitting is, you want to install an aftermarket fuel pressure regulator. You can get an aeromotive one with 6 ORB inlet and outlet and return for about $150. I don't have one here, my regulator's on the truck, but it would go right here, and then the return line would just connect back to the stock return hose using one of these 5/16 fittings. And then since we know that running the rails in series is not good, we're just teeing off of the regulator, and we're gonna go in parallel and feed each lane separately, each rail separately. And to hook up to the rail, you use these 5/16 quick connects from Russell. They're also about 12 bucks on Amazon. So you'll need 4 of them. You need one for each side to connect, and then you need one on each side to cap off the return line, and this other crossover line on the driver's side rail. So I didn't have the same connectors as I use here, so I just used the Toyota ones, but you get the idea. You're gonna want to get these Russell connectors, clip them on here and there, and then just cap them off with a 6AN cap. So let's see how much this upgraded system can flow for us. I don't have a TI 450 pump, but I've got something a little bit better set up here. I've got a nice quadruple pump set up in my bucket. So let's get it rolling and see how much we can flow through this nice upgraded fuel system. All right, so here's our flow testing setup. Big ass pump in a bucket, or 4 pumps to be precise. 6AN feed line to our Y split to the rails, and then I have a couple injectors pulled out, in essence to simulate the injectors being fully open. So let's see how much we can get through this setup. I think it should fill up that bucket pretty quick. Oh, it's flowing all right. That is filling up fast, man. Okay, and there's our 4 liters. So I've done this test a couple of times and I timed it. It took about 15.5 seconds to fill a 4-liter bucket. So that adds up to an incredible 930 liters an hour. Just think about it, guys, 930 liters an hour. It's plenty for at least, 1,500, 2,000 horsepower application. Bone stock fuel rails and simple 6AN feed line and a big pump. 930 liters an hour. I'm gonna show you what all the parts you need and what it costs, and then hopefully this helps you build your fast Tundra. Alright, so let's look at a total cost of all this stuff. So the expensive items are going to be the fuel pump. You can buy it right from Walbro for $155. And everything else here you can get from Amazon. The regulator, because we're getting rid of the in-tank fuel filter, you want to run an inline fuel filter, and this one's going to fit perfectly. That's got 6AN inlet and outlet. It's a 10 micron filter, so it'll be great for the application. Then we have some 20 feet of the hose that comes with fittings. fuel line fittings for all the ends on the rails, couple adapters for inlet and outlet hoses, some ORB fittings for the regulator itself, 2 caps for the rails, and a T-fitting. So the total is right around 600 bucks, and that's good for about 750 horsepower with the fuel. That's just limited by the pump, of course. If you upgrade the pump to something larger, you'll be able to flow a lot more through the setup, as we've shown. Now, most of the bigger supercharger kits come with upgraded injectors, but if you're running a Magnuson or TRD setup, you're going to need to get something a little bit bigger than the stock 535s that it comes with. And you can get 650 from Ditchworks for 600 bucks, or ProSpeed has 750cc Bosch injectors for 7 bills, or you can go with the Denso ones from 50 Motorsports for 772. So that's kind of your pricing breakdown right there. Alright, so I demonstrated to you how to build a high flow fuel system on Tundra for about 600 bucks. The system that I discussed and showed is what's called a deadhead fuel system, where the fuel that enters the rails does not come out of the rails any way other than through the injectors. So the couple advantages of doing it that way is it's a little more simple to plumb. You don't need to run return lines from the rails. You just cap the 2 ends off and you're good to go. The other advantage is because the fuel is not circulated through the rails and going back into the tank, the fuel in the tank does not get as hot as fast, so that's also better for you, so that the pump doesn't have to suck hot fuel and potentially start vaporizing it on the inlet side and cavitating. But the downsides of doing the deadhead system is you can get vapor lock in the rails themselves. So if you run your vehicle hard and then you shut it off, the fuel can get hot in there from engine heat and boil off. So you're going to have a hard time starting it potentially. And also you can get some kind of pressure spikes when you're transitioning from on and off throttle really fast. So you could build a return system the same way. So in essence, when the fuel would come in, it would split from a T into 2 rails in parallel. And then on the outlets, instead of putting the caps on them like I did, you run those to the fuel pressure regulator and then return them that way. So that would be a return system versus a deadhead one. So hopefully this was good information for you guys to help you with building your own Tundra projects, and I've got lots more coming your way. Enjoy.